What do Charlie Shrem, Tim Draper, Caitlin Long, Don Tapscott, Justin Sun, John McAfee, and Brittany Kaiser all have in common? All of them are delivering a keynote speech at Virtual Blockchain Week. With media partner Cointelegraph, this will be the most viewed online crypto conference of the year. Register now for free at virtualblockchainweek.com. If you could be sheltered in place with one blockchain personality, who would it be? Well, if you wanted to discuss only Bitcoin, you might choose Peter McCormack. If you were a fan of Tron, you might select Justin Sun. And if you wanted to get your project into the news, you might want to hang out with Rachel Wolfson. But if you were seeking a truly memorable and somewhat wacky experience, you'd choose to be locked down with none other than John McAfee. Well, that's exactly what happened to us. Well, kind of. We weren't really locked in with him. It's more like voluntary isolation as he joins us for his fourth appearance on this show. What better way to celebrate a centennial number than being stuck inside with John McAfee for episode number 400 of the Bad Crypto Podcast?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
And this is a big day in the Republic of Bad Cryptopia with two landmark events taking place. The first of them, Mr. Travis Wright, is episode number 400.
That is true. My question is were we stuck in there with John McAfee, or was John McAfee stuck in there with us?
It did seem like he wanted to get out quickly this time.
It did. I think he was very busy that day. And his wife sort of said, yeah, done. It's like, I guess I got 30 minutes. And then at the 30 minutes, we're done. But then he arrives 10 minutes late. And he says, I'm John McAfee, deal with it. But your question is like, which one would you like? So if you want to shoot things, evade cops, and do drugs, you want to hang out with John McAfee.
And if you want to get crypto adoption happening in the real world, then you might want to check out MobiPay, our sponsor, MobiPay.io. These guys have a really cool application that's allowing crypto and fiat on and off ramps. Here's the key, that we want to make crypto so that it's so simple that you just need a mobile phone, right? You become your own bank account. And that's what Mobi is all about. Try out their beta program. Go sign up today at MobiPay.io. They'll give you $10 in their MBX tokens just for playing.
Yeah, it's really cool too. Not only that, is like whenever we got our first Mobi sent to us, we didn't even have a Mobi wallet. They just literally, what's your phone number? Send it over to you. Then it sends you a text. You click that text, and then it sends you in to set up your wallet. And then it was super easy and handy.
Insta Wallet. The other thing that we're celebrating today, Mr. Travis Wright, is as this episode is launching out into the world, Virtual Blockchain Week is beginning. We're in two places at once. One, if you're listening to this, we're in your ears, but also the event that's going to be taking place all week is going on, and it's going to be at virtualblockchainweek.com.
Yeah, so instead of like tuning into Netflix in the evening time or watching mainstream media or binging on some TV show, how about educate yourself?
In fact, Travis, you could actually sit on the sofa and watch, because one of the distribution outlets is YouTube. So if you have a smart TV, go to the YouTube app and just look up Bad Crypto. And all week long from 6:30 to 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday, we will be live there on YouTube. So you could like be a total couch potato.
Bad Crypto from your couch. That's pretty good. I mean, that's normally not where you do that. Normally people are listening to Bad Crypto while they're driving or while they're mowing or while they're doing other stuff. What's cool about this is that literally you can watch this whole thing. And again, the festivities each day start at 6:30 Eastern in the evening. So 6:30 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you're on the West Coast or wherever you are in the world, you must do the math to figure out when we are, or just go to the YouTube channel or our Facebook channel and get notifications or whatever, you'll know when we go live, or just look at your watch or set an alarm.
Make sure you go to virtualblockchainweek.com and register so you can be notified of all the events and be eligible to win a crypto ATM machine. We'll talk more about that after the interview. But first of all, he was on episode number 100. He was on episode number 200. He was on episode number 281 because we thought he might not survive until episode 300.
Yeah, he was like running. He was in Cuba or something, running from the police.
Who knows?
Like he was on his yacht. Like he might not last. Like that's what he said. He might be arrested. So we better get him in before 300. But he did. He survived all the way to 400.
Yeah, and maybe we're hoping he'll make it to 500 too. But here he is, Mr. John McAfee. And it's time for another episode of Where in the World is John McAfee? That's right, hunkered down in an unknown location. He's back for his 4th time. John, welcome back to Bad Crypto.
Thanks for having me on. I'm always happy to be on.
I thought when you first came on, you were wearing a leather coat, and I was like, "Oh, he's going full badass today." No, it's just the sunglasses.
It's just a shirt. I bothered to button it up.
Are you in a padded room there?
I'm in a soundproof room.
He's in a soundproof room. Yeah, that's nice. You got the audio quality going full effect today. Good stuff.
Yeah, I've got my real microphone. I've got soundproof room and got my sunglasses on.
Man, this is amazing. This is amazing because this is the first time you've actually been in a good location having a conversation with us. One time you were kind of laying in your bed holding your phone. One time you were in Cuba.
That's true. Well, I actually made it over to my communication room this time. So
very nice.
That's great. Well, you're hunkered and bunkered like the rest of us. So let it loose, man. Tell us what you think is going on. And just to timestamp this so people know, because the interview is coming out, I believe either end of April or early May. This is April the 10th, and we're still under quarantine.
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, we're being completely deceived. People, this is a media generated issue. For example, let's talk numbers, can we? Because I'm a mathematician. I like numbers because they add up. The flu kills 600,000 people a year. Good God, that's a huge number.
Mm-hmm. Around the world, right? Around the world.
Around the world, yeah. Kills 50 to 60,000 a year in America. But 600,000 people a year. That's a horrible number, but it's not. It's only a horrible number by itself. Keep in mind, 7.8 billion people. That is, the flu kills 1 in every 10,000 people. So, of course, we pay it no mind. But coronavirus has killed only 100,000, and we're in lockdown. And that 100,000 is a massively inflated number based on the new method of counting that was just implemented about a month ago, and by America as well, where if you die and you're infected, you die of the infection. We don't do that for anything else. There are, every day, 250,000 people die in hospitals and at home from terminal illness. Now, a large percentage of those are going to be infected. We know that, right? And if they're infected, they died from the infection. It didn't matter that you suffered for months in a hospital, wasting away, and only had a few more hours to go. You had the virus when you died. It killed you. Do you understand the stupidity of that? What if they did that for the flu? Oh, someone died of terminal illness. But let's check if they had the flu, because if they did, the flu killed them. Not this 6 months of terminal cancer or heart disease or advanced diabetes. Do you see the insanity? So 10 times as many people are recorded as dying as really do die. Because people go, oh, this only kills old people. Duh, because it's the old people who are dying. Do you understand? Nobody dies from the coronavirus between the ages of 5 and 50.
Well, there's a few outliers, right? There's some outliers, but
no more than 10. No more than 10. Mm-hmm. And all of those are publicized by look, it killed an infant. It killed a 15-year-old boy, and even that was questionable. No, You motherfuckers are not going to get sick from it, or you're not going to die from it. I will if I get it. But my chances of it's so insane, people. I'm not dying yet, so I'm not worrying.
Right.
So we've got 100,000 official deaths. We're using the new math, to where 2 + 2 is no longer 4; it's actually 22, and we're using the new math to count the deaths. Do you not see the absurdity?
Yeah.
Even let's say they're not exaggerating. It's still, why the hell are we paying attention to it? 2.4 million people a year die from pathogenic diarrhea.
We need to ban that. We need to ban diarrhea. We have to.
Well, no, you need to ban the viruses. You need to ban the viruses and bacteria that cause it. All right. So now we could save 2.4 million a year without having to lock people in, because the pathogens that cause that 2.5 million deaths are not airborne. So we don't have to lock people in. We don't have to do social distancing. All we're going to do is mandate, if you touch another person or some object that's not yours, wash your hands.
Yeah.
We'd save Are we doing it? No, it's not worth it, for fuck's sake, people. 2.5 million people per year. Do you know what that is? That's one person in every 3,000. Of course, we're not going to pay attention to it. Why the fuck are we paying attention to this? Do you not understand? This is a scare tactic by the media. Who benefits from this, by the way? Certainly not airlines. They're going to go out of business. Certainly not the travel industry. Certainly not the oil industry. They are going to be in a world of hurt. Their sales have dropped 99%. Because why? If you're not out driving your car because you can't go anywhere, you're not burning gas, are you?
Mm-hmm.
So look at all the cars on freeways that aren't there anymore. 99% of them are home. So they're losing. Who wins? I can't see how people can't see this. The media conglomerates, the most powerful industry in the world, second only to pharma. Big pharma is number one. And they're benefiting because what gives media its power? Number of eyeballs times time spent looking at the shit that I put on the screen. Mm-hmm. Now, the number of eyeballs has remained almost constant, but the number of hours has gone up by a factor of 5. Mm. They're suddenly 5 times more powerful, 5 times more important, 5 times more valuable. So they've won. Big Pharma certainly wins. The rest of the world loses. Now, I'm not saying that the media and Big Pharma colluded, not at all. But this is certainly the media jumped on coronavirus thing and goes, oh, it's horrible. Look at what they're calling it. Horror. Hospitals filled up. How can they be? How can they be?
Hospitals are furloughing people out of, because they don't have enough people in there. They don't have enough money to pay. That was just so weird because they're opening up the hospitals for all of these coronavirus patients. And now people aren't going in for regular treatments. They're not going in. And so the hospitals, they say, oh, these hospitals are overrun. And then citizen journalists will come in and show videos of nobody at the hospitals.
But hang on. But they do. What happens is in many cities like New York, one hospital is totally overrun. The rest of them are vacant. Do you understand? This is an artificial creation created by government, and this is this is great for government because the world was about to decline, the economy, and who was to blame? Well, the leaders, but now no, it's the coronavirus caused it. I read in the New York Post that the coronavirus caused the loss of 20 million American jobs. It did? Did the coronavirus fire those people? No. Mm-hmm. It was lost because of our government's irrational response to it. Do you understand?
It seems very calculated. Doesn't it seem like it's like this is a big
it's calculated.
Because there was
the
so
whole
much
thing is calculated.
Yeah, so much nationalism going on. I mean, I look at it like this, and I put my conspiracy hat on from time to time. Hong Kong protests were going on. The French yellow vest jacket protests have been going on. Brexit's going on. Trump has 25, 30,000 people showing up at his rallies every week. You got this smoking economy. And it's like, how do you put the brakes on all of that
And it's like, whoa, we need this global fear tactic to shut down to
Yes.
usher in this maybe global socialism kind of thing or fascism or whatever we're doing.
Basically, it's fascism. Because look at the emergency laws passed, like in America, because of the coronavirus. Now, the FBI has the legal right to say, this is an emergency. We're arresting you. We don't have cause. We don't need cause. It's an emergency. And they haul your ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what that means? This is like Germany under the SS, where parents were turned in by their children, and people disappeared by the millions. Or even worse, this is almost worse than Orwell's 1984.
Mm-hmm.
So no, governments are going to win because they now are going to have massive amounts of control over people. And emergency measures and emergency laws, have you ever heard of one that was repealed? No, they never are. Look at the Patriot Act.
Mm-hmm.
Was that repealed? Nope. We still got it. And neither will any of these things be repealed. So no, if you want to look at conspiracies, well, it might have been a conspiracy of the government and the media. Media wins, government wins because they scare you. And if you're scared, you will accept all kinds of restrictions, provided the government tells you, don't worry, we'll keep you safe.
Marching orders from those above the government, most likely.
The Illuminati, the lizard people. So, the markets tanked dramatically as a result of this happening. We saw the Dow go under 20,000. Bitcoin and other cryptos took a precipitous drop. Even gold and silver took an initial hit. I find it interesting as of, today, April 10th, 2020, gold is right back where it was its high for, the last 5, 6, 7 years. I'm curious, though, is this Bitcoin's moment to shine, John? What do you think?
It's not Bitcoin's moment. Of course not. It's crypto's moment, yes. Bitcoin, please, people. It's the oldest of the technologies. People go, I thought you were a supporter. Oh, bullshit, people. The day that I made this, said, listen, Bitcoin doesn't hit $1 million, I'll eat my dick, was when the Bitcoin maximalists were being so absurd about, Bitcoin is the only thing. Why? For example, if anybody had any common sense, you would multiply $1 million times the number of Bitcoins, and you would come out with a number larger than the gross national product of the North American continent. Nothing in the world is that big. So it could not have been true. Listen, when I first said, I'm going to just show how absurd these motherfuckers are, or just make fun of them, I said, I told my people, I'm just going to do a tweet. So I'm going to eat my dick if Bitcoin doesn't hit $100,000. And then someone said, you know what? Someone might actually believe that. No fucking way. I said, all right, I'll make it $1 million. Still, people believed it. And I put that out on the same day that I said, I fuck whales, by the way, people. And the following day, I put out, I also eat human brains. Please, people, it was a joke. If you cannot see what a terrific joke it was, or horrific, then I don't know.
Well, all the media attention was amazing.
Right? I've never been a supporter of Bitcoin. I'm a supporter of crypto. Bitcoin's got no privacy, no smart contracts, no distributed applications. It's not a stable coin. What the fuck is it? It is a clunky old technology that's on the way out. On the other hand, coins like Monero, privacy coins, coins like DAI, SAI, the stable coins, which never vary more than 1% from the US dollar, or you can get stable coins based on anything. Grab one. Those two things are going to take crypto to the moon. Why? The privacy coins allow you to do all of your business without anybody, including governments, watching. And the stable coins allow you, if the market's going south, you go, wait a minute, I think my coin's going to lose value. Put them into stable coins. You don't have to get out of the market into the dollar or the euro or the yen anymore. And that's no longer necessary. The stable coins, you stay in crypto. No more entry and exit.
Yes. It's such a good point. I mean, it's interesting that, we have those maximalists out there that say this is the only way, but it's like there's a lot of great technologies that are popping up, some cross-chain platforms that can connect any blockchains and all these different things that are going on. It's just like we see, especially now, people are realizing, John, I think this could be really huge for crypto because, I mean, who wants to get change handed back to them in paper money now when everybody's scared about germs, right? And how dirty money is and how many strippers' asses these dollars have been on and up and around.
That's
and all
true.
Stuff, right?
Of course, that might be a benefit for some people. I don't know. I mean, you can say, hey, this dollar has been on 300 strippers' asses. Well, I'll give you $100 for it.
That's a good Where's George, right? If that bill was tracked on Where's George.
That's true. Only because on the blockchain, so you can prove it was attached to Tiffany's ass. That's the trick.
I like it. Yeah, so no, but hang on. The paper currency's out anyway. I mean, it's been going out for years. I mean, for the past 10 years, you have been restricted more and more about how much paper currency you can actually own. I mean, in Europe, you can't own or have possession of more than 10,000 euros. All over the world, you cannot carry from one country to another more than 10,000 in cash, dollars. I mean, it's going out anyway. Everything is credit cards. And then now with the crypto dollars and the euro being worked on, it's going to be crypto. But that crypto created by governments is not. That's the real bad crypto, people. Because it is not going to give you privacy, or security. It is going to make sure that every single penny that you earn and spend is logged the instant it's earned or spent. Is that what you want? You want governments having that much control and knowledge over your finances, which constitutionally should be yours and private.
So, but doesn't this mean that, when the state institutes a crypto, that they're going to make it illegal? And of course, I understand the privacy. They can't track it. But now we're talking about
they're going to make it illegal
economy.
Yes. So what? I mean, listen. The marijuana was illegal in America for 75 fucking years. Did it stop people from smoking it? No. You want to smoke it, smoke it. You want to use privacy coins, use them. How? In fact, with marijuana, they could use dogs to sniff it out. All kinds of things. They could test your blood. How are they going to find out that you're using your own underground crypto? I mean, listen, there are tens of thousands of us. We don't use paper money. We don't have credit cards. We don't have bank accounts. Janice and I do not have a bank account. Not a single credit card. We don't use paper. Totally crypto. When I consult with somebody, I get paid in Monero. When I hire someone to do work, I pay them in Monero. And tens of thousands of us no longer touch anything else because there's nothing I can't buy. You can buy houses, cars, clothes, bulletproof vests, shoes. You can get food. Check it out on Google. Nothing you can't buy with crypto. If you're willing to forego certain things, like you can't go down to the coffee shop and buy a cup of coffee with crypto in most places. And some you can, but that's going to change. Mm-hmm. So doesn't matter if it's made illegal, people. If you were willing to smoke weed while it was illegal, then Jesus, you sure should be willing to free yourself from government financial control by using crypto.
That's what a lot of people will actually sort of go against the grain. I mean, I wanted to smoke it because they told me I couldn't. I'm like, I can't smoke this plant that God made.
Yeah, that's true.
Put it on this plant. Well, I'm going to freaking do it then. I can't do.
That's right. And so you can't use privacy coins. People go, really? Must be good then. Let's try it out.
It's like I've gotten in the habit of everything the media will tell me. I immediately think, so the opposite is what's the opposite of this?
I understand. We've been chatting and having a good time, but we're over time. One more question. I'm really sorry.
Oh, John's a busy guy today. I totally understand.
Listen, I do three of these a day. This is my second. I unfortunately have another.
And we thought we were special. We thought we were special.
Well, no. I mean, I do 3 normal things, but then 1 special thing. And
we're abnormal. We're abnormal. So you did something funny on Twitter here recently. You offered $500 in dye for the best post-apocalyptic photos.
Yes.
Online. I would just tell us a little bit about some of the submissions you got.
Oh, it was great. The one that won was a guy in I think somewhere in Nevada that had a very beautiful photo of an empty street, no people in the cars and the dogs, and then the red roof of I don't know, a Pizza Hut or something off in the corner. It was beautiful. But no, the submissions we got were amazing. The Las Vegas was the best. The empty MGM parking lot with a goose walking across it. The Las Vegas Strip, empty of except maybe 1 or 2 cars in the far distance. I think another good one that I liked was in Rochester, New York, deer in the middle of the freeway exiting at an exit ramp.
Strange.
No cars, empty freeway, and 2 deer trotting on down the exit ramp. Clearly had been traveling on the freeway for some time and decided, let's get off here. Rochester, New York sounds like a nice town. That was another great one. So they were spectacular. And the guy who won, he got his DAI. We're running a second one that was outside the house. We're running a second one about inside the house. Show photos of the truth of your situation. People, with a 4-week growth of beards, and a house totally trashed behind them. Nobody's picking anything up. Husband sitting on one side of the sofa, large sofa, leaning outward. The wife sitting on the opposite side, leaning the other way, like we hate each other. We got nowhere to go.
Right. Right. So this is our new normal. How long? So you don't think this is going to go away?
It has to go away, else we'll die. We have to go back to work, else there's no one to produce the goods for the wealthy to consume. Do you understand? Who's going to produce the food? Now, we have stockpiles. Yeah, they're going to run out in a month or 2. Who? Yeah, well, don't worry about it. Farmers are growing it, and so they're not in the quarantine because they're out in the rural area. Okay, that's fine. Who's going to harvest it? Who is going to transport it to the processing plants? And in those plants, who's going to run those machines to process and can the food? Who is then going to deliver it to the... No, it's falling apart, people.
Who's going to be able to pay their phone bill? Who's going to be able to pay their electricity? Who's going to be able to pay their water?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. In fact, money's not a problem because the government is giving everybody $1,200.
Right.
So that should last for a year or 2. It sounds like, because Trump and everything, don't worry. Help is at hand. Yeah. Okay. And what exactly are you going to do with that $1,200 when you've been out of work for 2 months and lost your job? Nothing. So, no, people, we're going to collapse as an economy. Airlines are going to have to shut down. Listen, remember 9/11? We shut down the airways in America for 3 days. A couple of smaller carriers went bankrupt. They're living on a day-to-day economy in the airlines. Their margins are not big. You shut them down for a month, and they've already been a month, virtually. What do you think is going to happen? We're going to have millions losing their jobs just from the airline industry. The oil industry, nobody's buying gas because no one's going anywhere. People, we're due for a massive economic collapse. And here's something no one thought about. 12 million people a year are dying from starvation in developing countries. We're not going to be able to feed ourselves in developing countries soon. Where are we going to get the food to send that saves 100 million lives a year to the developing world? So that 12 million is going to be 100 million. Now, coronavirus, if it were here for 10 years, could not kill that much. The other issue no one seems to have considered is we're not going to have a vaccine for this for at least a year. At least every medical professional says exactly. It ain't happening in 2020. And this is a seasonal virus. So in October, we're going to have to lock our ass up again for months. Do you understand the insanity of this?
Yeah.
So in any case, I've got to go. Janice is giving me the
Thanks, John. Thanks, Janice, for
right.
lending him to us. We're looking forward to having you at Virtual Blockchain Week. Global audience, John. It's going to be great fun.
Work it out with Janice. All right.
Peace.
Appreciate it. Thanks, now.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to see what John has to say at Virtual Blockchain Week. I'm not sure which day he's speaking. Our calendar is on the website. If you go to virtualblockchainweek.com and go to the agenda, you will see when all of the speakers will be making their appearance, including Mr. Travis Wright, who's going to be debuting his Funny Money presentation. What's that all about?
I'm not sure. I need to start it.
Yeah. You've been working on it. Don't give me that.
Well, you know what I am? It's about, I'm about 70% through on it, but there's just been so many website updates and so many things going on that it's like I've not been able to finish it, but I should be able to finish it. Oh, I better finish it tomorrow afternoon. That's what I should better finish it.
I would think so.
So I'm now at the point where I'm talking about fractional reserve banking. So I've gone through the history of money and talked about that and barter and the shells and the gold and all this. And now I'm at the point where they discovered fractional reserve banking, which really was the beginning of us becoming slave debtors for the most part. And so once they realized they could convince us that it's a cool idea just to go ahead and print money and then to loan it out. And so you're going to want to tune in. That's going to be Monday night, I believe at 9:10 p.m. I believe at 9:10 p.m.
You're there to warm up people for G. Edward Griffin. He's on Tuesday, so you're going to set the stage for the history of money, and he's going to come in and talk about the Federal Reserve and what's going on now, and how through some weird set of circumstances that at least functionally the president is now the chairman of the Federal Reserve. I don't know. I don't understand it all. Hopefully he'll make that clear for us.
Yeah, you should definitely go to virtualblockchainweek.com. Go register. The reason you want to register is because you're going to get some resources and some benefits. You're going to be able to be notified when and where and who and how and why and all of that good stuff. And plus, if you're listening to our podcast, give away stuff. Yeah, we're going to be giving away stuff. Why wouldn't you want to listen to Bad Cryptos?
Nandos. We've got some ballet wallets. We're going to give away 10 million bad coin. There's going to be 2 cryptomatic ATMs that are given away. There's going to be NFTs. So when you register, if you put in your Ethereum wallet address, you're going to get NFTs. In fact, we just partnered with the folks from Reality Clash. They're a mobile game, and there's these weapons that are NFTs in the game. And everybody who registers that puts in their address is going to get one of these cool guns that you can use in the Reality Clash game. They're going to be airdropped just for people who come to Virtual Blockchain Week. So just so many reasons to register. It's free. If you want to partake in the VIP experience, then we encourage you to do that, because that'll give you entry to 3 separate parties that we're having during the week, get you extra entries for contests, and half of the proceeds for your $97 ticket will go to Binance Charities Crypto Against COVID campaign. We're pretty excited about partnering with them.
Yeah, so why are you still listening to this? Because Virtual Blockchain Week is going on right now.
I'll tell them why, because they still need to go sign up for Upland at badco.in/Upland, the location-based property trading game paired with a decentralized economy. It's all about the llamas. It's all about owning property in a virtual sense, real life properties in a virtual sense. Right now in San Francisco, soon to be New York City, there's a whole great community of bad cryptopians that are in there. Travis, what is it? Alamo Square, where people are buying?
Yeah, all the properties around Alamo Square getting purchased up there in San Francisco. As you mentioned, that's where the Painted Ladies are. Mm-hmm. Some community members just reached out and said, hey, we're going to be doing some cool stuff at Alamo Square. And I believe this is the 3rd time we've talked about that. So they got to be ecstatic about that. I don't know what they're going to be doing some things. So we'll see how it all works out.
Badco.in/Upland is the place to go play the game with us. You'll see mine and Travis's heads bouncing around the city. Those are our custom block explorers. By the way, Travis, I noticed that there are a few other heads now. So maybe some people have reached a level. We're not the only ones that are our custom faces that are in Upland.
We got some other big voxel heads out there.
Some big voxel heads. All right, gang, virtualblockchainweek.com. It's happening all this week. Go check it out. We'll see you there. Stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.